Once again, Israel Adesanya made a pro fighter look like he didn't belong. This time his victim, Paulo Costa, who fought worse than he had ever fought before. Some will say he didn't bring the fight to Izzy, but as we will see in this video, there are many reasons why Costa looked so bad, and those reasons were all controlled by the Last Stylebender. The fight starts. Right away, Izzy opens up with outside leg kicks. In return, Costa only invites him to throw more, not pressuring like he's used to do. In a way, that was the story of this fight in a nutshell. But there's a reason why Costa wouldn't apply his usual pressure. Adesanya never allowed it. First, he was butchering Costa's lead leg, and the front kicks to the knee were particularly effective against Paulo, who became clearly more hesitant about going forward, worried that his knee would get hyperextended. The outside leg kicks were also quite brutal. Indeed, the timing on those was brilliant, as Adesanya would throw them just before Costa would put his lead leg on the ground. With all of his weight on that leg, the check wasn't a possibility. Second, Izzy wouldn't react to Costa's feints like the Brazilian wanted him to. Normally, people move back whenever Costa throws that type of feint, but look here. Costa feints hard, and Adesanya, as the range specialist that he is, almost doesn't move. He stays exactly where he is, with tons of space to move back if he wants to. Paulo Costa is not used to this. People normally crumble. Facing fear, they're humbled. Third, every time Costa would put real pressure on him, Izzy's head was all over the place. Costa would block his left side, but on his right, heaps of space. It's safe to say that in general, Israel dominated the range battle, and deep inside, Costa felt it. He knew that it was going to hit air, and that's why often he didn't even try to box. That being said, some of his kicks were effective when Stylebender circled into them. For a little while, it looked like they would cause some problems to the champ, but Adesanya quickly silenced that thought by using an impressive strategy to defend Costa's kicks. Most of them came from Paulo's right side, and Adesanya would catch those targeting the body, making Costa pay immediately. Izzy wasn't worried about head kicks, because even if his guard was down, he possesses the body flexibility to lean back and evade. Costa just couldn't really find any rhythm, and the jabs thrown by Adesanya wouldn't help him either. Here, look at how much space Israel creates with a single attack. Paulo has always had problems with jabs in his MMA career. The third round versus Romero is a great example of that. But in this fight, not that many jabs landed clean on his face, but they were definitely not allowing him to put the pressure he wanted. We're at the end of the first. Adesanya is getting more and more comfortable, and now it starts getting real. Circling effectively, massive kick to the body, beginning of a study. This left hand was never supposed to land, but look at the reaction from Costa. Stylebender is downloading data, and now he starts to bait, offering his head to the Brazilian, standing at the limit of boxing range. The head's right here. Come on, Costa. There's the jab, triggering the easiest of slips. The jab is followed by a left hook that whiffs. Adesanya goes southpaw, countering with the left. This technique doesn't work, but he'll find another one in his arsenal. The second round starts, and gradually, Adesanya's aggression increases. The setups are ready. Left hand designed to get a reaction that's expected to reveal an opening easily exploited by the left high kick. Costa is lucky to stay upright. For now, he's still in the fight. Now he has to commit, even if his chances of landing are slim. And finally, that's what he does. As soon as Adesanya intentionally enters his range, Costa throws the jab, followed by the left hook. Again, no problem whatsoever for Stylebender, who escapes the jab like he doesn't even care. The left hook is even less of a concern. Adesanya retreats to southpaw, and now look at this. Israel is calculating. Costa is overextending. The Brazilian's eyes are not pointing in a good direction, and his back is turned away from Adesanya. Everyone smells it. The end is near. 30 seconds later, the champion does it again and leans into Paulo's range, ready to slip to the left. He sees the jab. He knows what Costa is trying to do. Izzy tries to go over the top with the right hand, dismissing the left hook from Barachina. And now, mastery. Instead of going southpaw, Adesanya stays firmly planted, letting his opponent overextend himself. The range is set. Costa's taking the bait. Adesanya completely shifts his body and starts to rotate. With the help of his flexibility and elasticity, he gathers energy from his whole body into his arm. That shot is relatively short range. It starts from here, but it's like a whip. which means it picks up speed at a terrifying pace. And not only that, Israel is always defensively responsible, and that's why he moves his head out of range while he unleashes that massive counter. Adesanya is so freaking good at this, he's able to swing from the hips while creating an exiting angle. Masterful technique. That whip of a punch only needs to graze the bull on the side of the head to put it down. The Matador wins. Not many people understand range as good as Israel does, and if you combine that understanding with deception skills, the bull will always think it has a chance, while having none at all. Thanks for watching, guys. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We have never seen anything like Izzy in MMA. He chooses the range where he's the most likely to outplay you. The Last Stylebender is elusive, flexible, and deadly. Most of his fights are easy money. Alright guys, see ya.